You know, you may not have known this, but there's an effort going on right now to get kind of the up-and-coming singer-songwriters to come to the Triad. As they make their way up the ladder to fame, we've actually seen it before. Believe it or not, Blake Shelton came here in the early 2000s before he was the superstar that he is now. Right in the middle of all this is Mark Brazel, who you probably know from the Wyndham Championship. He has somebody now coming next week that's already reached that level of stardom. I spoke with him about Mac McAnally, who was Jimmy Buffett's right-hand man for decades, coming to Piedmont Hall and tell stories and perform, all in the name of honoring his longtime friend, Jimmy Buffett. So Mark, obviously, I've been to Margaritaville many times at the Wyndham, too many times. There's a tie that kind of helped us get along, right? Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's probably about a 10-year relationship now that we've had with Margaritaville. John, the CEO, came to the Wyndham Championship, saw that we had this big tent, wasn't called Margaritaville the first year, and he looked at me and he said, this is a really good idea. What if we put our name on it and turned it into Margaritaville next year? So that's kind of how that happened. And that's pretty cool.
And you know, there's a history too. You and I were talking before the recording, but there's a history with this area and up-and-coming musicians that's still going on right now.
Well, that's what we're trying to do, and we're bringing in a lot of singer-songwriters, folks that have written a lot of songs for some of the top artists that we're familiar with in country music mainly. We're also bringing in kids from Nashville, young adults, that are kind of on their way. You know, they're playing a bunch of different shows. We try to bring them into the Triad and introduce, you know, who's next. And that's a great way for them to maybe want to come back and play at Sedgefield year in and year out.
And people love to say, I saw so-and-so before they were famous. That's just like a bragging right. Now, with this, obviously a lot of sentiment with the passing of Jimmy Buffett, and Mac McAnally's his right-hand man. What will this event be?
Right-hand man, best friend. This is going to be a really unique event. We thought about doing it maybe in the spring. We thought about doing it earlier in the next year. But then we said, you know, let's rush this thing and get it in December and see if we can't find a date. So finding a date was hard. But we settled on December 6th, which is a Wednesday, next Wednesday. And it's basically, we've got two of the best musicians in the world in Mac McAnally.
I like the morning on the back.
10-time CMA Musician of the Year. And Scotty Emerick, widely known as one of the best musicians in Nashville. Singer-songwriter, was a Songwriter of the Year in 2004. Has written for a lot of great talent.
Sentimental part of this, for people that love Jimmy Buffett,
yeah,
myself included, I'm sure Mac will be telling stories and singing songs, right? Is it going to be an interactive kind of?
I would say, you know, without us calling it a tribute to Jimmy Buffett, these guys are paying tribute to Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
They're going to be stories. There's going to be songs that Jimmy performed and wrote, his songs, some songs that they wrote for Jimmy. So the best part about this with Mac McAnally, you never know what you're going to get, but I do know this is going to be a night to remember and to pay tribute and show a lot of love for the guy that brought us all a lot of love and a lot of fun, Jimmy Buffett.
And Eric, you said you attended one of the concerts as well, too.
Well, I saw him 5 times. I saw
Wow.
Jimmy Buffett 5 times. And then that video you saw of him at the Wyndham, he showed up. People did not know, the behind the scenes people knew. I had somebody say, you need to go to Margaritaville at the Wyndham on Monday. I think it was a Monday. And I went, Monday? Because nothing's really, you have to be there on Monday. And he knew I was a big Jimmy Buffett fan. And I went, you're kidding me. He goes, just go on Monday. And I said we were 20 feet away from him when he walked in. Now that was Mac McAnally with him, who's his right-hand man. So Mac is touring right now in his own little thing, but this is different. So just for the Triad, he's calling this Margaritas and Memories.
Aww.
And he's coming in to Piedmont Hall next Wednesday night. I think it's like 7:30. And he's going to tell behind-the-scenes stories about Jimmy Buffett, who just passed away September 1st, and then play some of his music and tell stories and play music. It's really intimate.
Aww.
It's going to be great.
So out of the 5 seconds as well too that you, or 5 seconds, out of the 5 times that you have gone, you know, I'm sure the concerts just kind of progressed and progressed.
Once you get
I don't even have a favorite one.
Well, my very first one, I only knew 2 of his songs. I didn't know him that well. My buddy in college said, "You've never been to a Buffett concert?" I said, "No." And he goes, "It's not about the music. You don't have to know the music, the vibe." And I get there, and people are throwing beach balls around the Coliseum.
Wow.
This was in Chapel Hill, and I got it. It's like a country Caribbean beach
Yeah.
vibe.
Very
And so,
cool.
yeah, very cool. And so it's the experience as much as it was the music. So I can't wait to hear the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, that'll be
nice.
really cool to hear.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Exciting.
Parrot heads unite. Fins up. We'll be right back.